What's up, guys? Wobbly Rick here, coming to you live on YouTube. I hope this thing goes well, and I hope that whatever the hell is going on in the background doesn't all of a sudden try to attempt to assassinate my frames, because that seems to happen a lot with this game, where something's just constantly assassinating the frame rate of my game with whatever seems to be going on in the background that shouldn't be going on.
Hi.
I just ate some form of, I don't know, sad dinner or whatever I want to call it at this point. I'm probably going to make something else as well. For anyone wondering why, it's probably because, you can really never have enough when it comes to food, but when it comes to me, most foods aren't suffice enough to even satisfy my hunger. I've been capable of eating basic foods as of late, but nothing too big, heavy, or stuff like that. So far, I've only been able to eat Campbell's-based products without completely vomiting them back up, or having to go to the bathroom immediately after consuming it. So I'm going to continue with my loot run of the police station. I would have came back after an hour, but I ended up passing out because insufficient energy. And my body's really crap at producing energy. So, that's kind of why. I need to return back to the lower levels that I didn't get to finish looting because I got chased by a stalker. Where's the staircase to the lower levels? Here it is. It's just the final door down the hall. And then it'll cover all lower levels prior. Still going to continue looting the police station. It seems to be a more reliable location to loot at the time. There's no extra looting spots. Okay, I can now return back to the upper levels. Every room downstairs has been looted, which means my job here is complete. All these levels have been looted, which means this is complete. Okay. All this floor's levels have been successfully looted. So this is complete. Time to head to the next floor. Need to make about 50,000 in order to get a better suppressor so I can reduce the noise radius by like 58% plus. Having a 30 meter sensitivity of sound reduction is good, but it's not that good because anything within 30 meters outside of the room I'm blasting my firearm out in is going to be attracted to the very room I'm inside of. I need to make sure I clear the hallway before I proceed. 30 meters is a pretty large distance to cover. Any entrance exit needs to be monitored and observed while looting. Fortunately, nothing that was in here was able to hear. Nice try, game, but I'm not into your soft block. I'm trying to really do that a lot lately with soft block me. I'll use the band-aids. But this game really has been soft blocking me lately. With these out of the ordinary zombie attacks have been resulting in a lot of soft blocking. Anyone else want to pretend like they're dead? No? That's great. Better not. You've got to be kidding me. That didn't blast her brains out. That's a waste of 7.62. Yeah, I kind of expect their heads to like pop right away with that stuff, especially if it's just hovering right above their brains. Well, at least the weird feel I get from the internal music of this interior is that it's sort of like a Resident Evil feel, but more or less of a Code Veronica type of Resident Evil. The music was of this type of composure and type of category. When I played Resident Evil 2, the music was not of this composure or category type. So more or less this feels like I'm in a police station that would probably be crammed in the Code Veronica series of Resident Evil. So I got everything up here then. Hasn't been a single loser. Some cat food. I'll eat it. Waste not, what not in real life. It's better to have a full stomach than to have an empty stomach. However, I kind of hope that, you know, suppressors would be more reliable and less sound would be ployed out. A 7.62 round would be virtually nearly invisible if you fired it, and you wouldn't really be able to hear it even if it had a suppressor on it or a homemade suppressor. Still, I wonder why the sound parameter still indicates that it's like firing with, you know, like if it was firing without a single suppressor, much less let alone a flash hider. A flash hider would completely reduce your visibility. And if I'm not mistaken, a flash hider is designed to dissipate the flash greatly, so that when you fire, you'll still get the bang or whatever, you just won't see the flash as much. Nope. I don't need the bunny rabbit from Trix coming over here asking me to share. March 3rd. Looks like the cleanup crew has been here a while ago. Huge piles of bodies, every few blocks, and not a sign of a soul in sight. Found a good place. We piled the bodies in the basement. I just hope there's no one else is here with us. March 6th. Don't know if I did a good job. I'm a mechanic though. It died at first, but the baby seems to have come out alright. It's been 2 hours of crying. March 8th. Baby's been getting a lot of love from outside. The rackets to finding out we slept tonight. Okay, whenever I want to read some crap, he wants to pile some AIDS on me. Get out of here. I'm trying to read. It's not like I'm reading out loud. Well, I guess in this case I would be. Why would somebody call now? Hold on. Sorry about that, folks. I had to figure this out while apparently somebody was calling me. This wasn't exactly, you know, the kind of situation I wanted to deal with. At least not yet, but I was trying to read this thing. It's like every time I do a live stream, people want to just call or blow me up with text messages and stuff. Like, this is kind of the reason why I kind of chose to not have a cell phone in life. When I'm in the middle of a live stream, I kind of want, like, I guess, like, nobody calling me or trying to ask me stuff like that, because it really interferes with this part of my life. Now, back to the Mechanic's Diary. Okay. March 8th. Baby's been getting a lot of love from outside. The racket's deafening. Doubt we'll sleep tonight. March 14th. The hordes keep banging on whenever the baby cries. She hasn't named it yet. Told me there's no point. She's ungrateful, but I don't let her know it. She's still looking pale. I remember my first baby, Angela. My wife miscarried her. Every now and then I wonder where she's at in all this mess. March 15th. Woke up to the baby crying. I can't find that damned mother anywheres. I can't believe she just left her kid like this. What am I supposed to do? Well, that sounds pretty shitty. That guy should probably continue to raise that child even if they're crying, and find a stronghold to be at. A very reliable stronghold and a healthy environment for the kid to learn how to slay the infected. That's what I recommend. In a zombie apocalypse, it'll be hard raising a baby. However, you do what you gotta do. Let's proceed forward. Swear to God, if another stupid freaking stalker appears, I'm going to be pissed because I still haven't gone through the entirety of this singular floor yet. There's a boss room. I'm going to see what kind of boss is inside before I decide to proceed forward with any crap. Because the last time I tried to face off with a boss, I got ripped off. And I kind of don't want to deal with it. If this boss isn't fightable, I'm not dealing with it. It's a fingers. This is manageable. Sort of. Screw off, game. Nice try, kid. Oh, you son of a fucking bitch. Pop goes the weasel. Well, that was pretty crappy, but it does give a decent amount of friggin' inventory capacity. That leather jacket can go for 300 rubles. Yes, I'm going to sell that leather jacket for 300 rupees. I mean, hiya! Rupees! Yeah. Dunk on them. Really? Get out of here, you poser. Don't need no more poser parasites. Alright. Tasty, tasty, tasty. Yeah, you guys can suck my balls. I already got the prize of this room. Okay, one more room to go down into. Always gotta make sure that that's not really there. Okay, that solves the end of this prize for this room. It offers me a way out, but no way up. All play and no work makes Jack a dull boy. I don't know. It's a bit outdated reference. Yeah, the two of you came running around a corner for what? It reminds me of that song made by T-Pain, I think. What's a T-Pain? He said, how I'm on for what? Today's lesson of the day is why is there a child running around in a police station for? Wow, an antiseptic spray. It's A-N-T-I, antiseptic, meaning it prevents a wound from getting septic. fact, there should be... Actually, I'm not really sure if mouthwash will qualify as an antiseptic. Since mouthwash has been very helpful with bacterial removal in over 10 years. And this is actually a real fact. Mouthwash hasn't been a very good antibacterial remover for really anything. You have to use an incredible amount of antiseptic medications or mouthwashes to actually keep your mouth clean. And it requires a special concentration of the amount of the antiseptic. Otherwise, just buying the ones that are over the counter, like Listerine and stuff like that, won't do you no good. It's mostly because Listerine and all these over-the-counter antiseptics aren't very useful, or mouthwashes. In fact, mouthwash was once at some point, I believe, classified as an antiseptic, but for some reason it just doesn't really work too well in that category. And I believe it was classified as a synthetic antiseptic. I know if you pour mouthwash into a toilet after somebody takes a huge dump in it, it'll take away the stink. So it does have odor neutralizing power, but for the human mouth, probably not. If the company that manufactures Listerine is comparing the human mouth to a toilet, I'm going to guarantee you it's not going to work out. I think Listerine is better off being used as a toilet cleanser than a mouthwash. So if you use Listerine for your mouthwash, well, you're better off pouring it down your toilet to keep it fresh, because it does a better job keeping your toilet fresh rather than your mouth. I've been brushing my teeth for years now, and Listerine ain't done no good at keeping my teeth or keeping my breath from stinking. The only thing it does is increase the stink factor. It's also been the cause of, well, in this case, corrosion on my teeth, which results in cavities. So, it's another reason why I don't like Listerine. It caused a bit of corrosion on my teeth, exposing the rest of my teeth to cavities. Listerine, a 1 out of 4 stars as a oral mouthwash. Well, 1 out of 5 stars, or 1 out of 10, better said. But Listerine as a toilet cleaner, 8.5 out of 10. Because it seems to clean a toilet a lot better than it does clean the mouth. And yes, before you guys ask, I have used Listerine to clean my toilet bowl before, and it's done an amazing job at cleaning a toilet bowl, but it cannot clean the inside of a human mouth of terrible breath. But it can sure as hell damage your teeth and your gum line. Makes me wonder, imagine if Sonic the Hedgehog got pink eye. It'd suck to be him. Probably spread to his brain, considering how massive his eyes are. Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog got pink eye, but he also got pink brain. I wonder how many people were legit just facing this way, but not at a single whiteboard. They were supposed to be learning to be cops in that classroom. I don't think you'd learn anything if you were just facing the window. Give some time for the bullet to gain terminal velocity. There. There's plenty of time for the bullet to reach terminal velocity and deal its damage. This kind of reminds me of something, but I think at one point I actually did have premium for this game. But I stopped playing shortly after achieving premium because apparently the enemies only got worse after achieving premium. It just wasn't a good show. That is the price you pay. You want premium content, but you want to get other things too. Well, you can't have both. Okay. Let's proceed to finish leaving the hospital. Where is the hospital? Oh, I can't remember. It's become a little rough to remember what I was doing here. In fact, I was actually legit thinking about live streaming War Thunder before I started playing this game again. But the event is just pure cancer. Can't even go bomber without somebody trying to annihilate you right out of spawn. I'm sorry, is your broadcast not able to afford a notification? Like, I don't know, piss off? I hear the piss off notification seems to be very popular in today's society. Well, at least it's been loading me up on 12 gauge this whole time. One of the most expensive round loadouts. Huh. Looks like I got one more floor and that's it. Either way, this worked out. Doesn't really bother me. Like one more floor and then that's about it. Really, dude? See what's down this area. this info board seems to be a bit outdated. A couple of burn spots here and there. By the way, the spy hunting games have begun once again. A new spy has been burned. If anyone's wondering what I'm talking about, a new federal secret agent that runs as a double agent for the United States has officially been burned in today's society. As your local Marines and Green Beret soldiers search for this rogue agent, quote-unquote rogue, they're going to blow their brains out whenever they catch up with them. Believe me, people who thought the TV show Burn Notice is fake, no, it's actually real. The TV show does pull out some facts of what really happens behind the scenes when your government has to put a burn notice out on a agent. It's when they have to call someone a rogue field agent. Sure, they don't kill them right away, but they interrogate them vigorously for 32 days. If they have to, they'll interrogate for up to 1 month. And interrogation procedures includes waterboarding, electrocution, physical beatings, breaking limbs, bones, peeling skin, and all sorts of methods of torture to try to get information that does not exist out of a subject or individual. Most of the times when people commit these actions or put out such things is because they believe they know something. And most of the times these people who put out these kinds of notices are governors who are trying to cover up their tracks for extreme illegal activity that would probably be classified as treason against the public and the United States. There are a lot of governors that have come into power in the world, but there are a lot of them that are extremely corrupt. And these corrupt governors would do anything to silence a person, even if it meant accusing them of the most heinous crime, which is treason against the nation of the United States. And quite a few governors have accused people, and very out of the ordinary people, of treason in an attempt to have them eradicated, or to prevent them from exposing the truth of what the governor has done. A lot of governors and people who worked within city policies, agencies, or police forces have done corrupt things in order to achieve certain statuses of their life. These corrupt politicians and politics, I will not give names out, but I'm sure some of you who've had these weird feelings about these type of politics, well, I wouldn't say you weren't half wrong to believe that there was something wrong with them from the very beginning. Everyone has skeletons in the closet, but it's usually people who are former governors or state representatives that have the biggest skeletons in the closet for committing the most heinous crimes to achieve money. This even includes pollution of local water resources, damaging of local air environments, and just generally doing illegal things like selling classified information. Doesn't matter if it's not a U.S. trade secret, selling any type of classified information, whether it be food, secrets, or preserving secrets and stuff like that. Selling anything in general would put you up on a list with a government in general. The general statistics are that there are a lot of corrupt politicians in the world. And just like Smokey Bear said, only you can prevent a forest fire. Well, let's say this Smokey the Bear said only you can prevent government corruption. It is true. Only the public can prevent corruption within their own system. And the only way to do it is to bring that person to light. And if the system refuses to bring that person to light, it is up to the public to prosecute that certain person. Because if the system fails to do its job, it's because this person has a firm grip on said system. And the only way to proceed forward is to remove said corrupt person from position of power by force. Your local government should not be protecting people who commit actions or crimes against humanity, or actions against the general public's welfare or function. It is not the public that serves the government, it is the government that serves the public. People should always remember that the due process procedure can be broken by corruption in politics. So the only way to fix the justice system is to do your own form of justice. Sure, people call it vigilantism, but it's not vigilantism if you're doing it for all the right reasons. It is called a public justice, and a public justice is correcting a public injustice that has been done to the general public that greatly affects their ability to live or functioning or property. You know, like if somebody perpetually did something to decrease your property values in your state or your localized area, and that big payout that you were going to get because someone was attempting to buy your home has just been crapped on because someone decided to destroy the localized area or to cripple the economy to make homes more affordable. That they're thinking about their pocket, so when they invest in your home, that they could flip your home for triple, if not 4 times the price of its original value. Most people do this in order to attempt to cripple the market in their favor. And crippling a local economical market in order to tip it in your favor is also a form of treason and a form of terrorism. It would be best in most people's knowledge or nature of action to not commit such actions. Because if you cripple the economy, you can cripple certain businesses that may be a piece of infrastructure that the state may require. But a lot of people like to play God with other people's lives, and they end up ruining other people's lives, destroying small businesses that were supposed to take off, and a lot of people end up with, well, monumental issues with survival. Some people have to sell all their assets, and they end up piss poor, broke, and homeless. These are just general statistics and things that I pay attention to within our country's infrastructure. If you know a politic is corrupt or anything like that, do not report them to the law. It is best that reporting them to the law might put them on an investigative thing, but these people may be very well connected within politics in order to achieve power. To achieve power is to use it properly, but to achieve power to use it improperly makes you a treasonous bastard. To betray the public's trust is like betraying your country. And if you betray your country, then you betrayed everyone, including the flag you so live under. Every state is required to have its own individual flag to identify its previous perpetual purposes or standings, so that people knew where the state stood personally before they joined in the United States. The United States indicates that the states are unified as one, instead of separately, like they used to be. The United States didn't used to be the United States. In fact, back in the day, each state had its own governing situation and its own government, its own level of government, and its own level of police enforcement. The reason why the United States became the United States was to prevent the spread of corruption, but somehow corruption still managed to find its way into our system, and still crippled our economy today, including the local economy. And in such case, the local economy is incredibly important to keep intact. Well, not a lot of people want to keep the local economy intact. They'd rather put more money into their own personal pockets than to make sure that the ecosystem is functional. If an ecosystem destabilizes too much, it leaves it open for proletariat or fascist statements or regimes or types of powers or other kinds of powers, whether they be fascist or not, to move in and take over a state or quite possibly even several states or maybe an entire country in complete silence. If left unchecked, an entire country could go under, meaning it'll be permanently crippled, and if someone were to try to rebuild it, that somebody who's trying to rebuild it will likely be targeted and probably assassinated before they had the opportunity to restructure the nation. Sometimes restructuring a nation is required in order to maintain balance. However, it still must retain its original values. A bit tiring. Under perpetual circumstances, these are views that I have. Like communist people? These are things that I've been asked on the internet. And this is before I deleted my Reddit account. Do I like communist people? People with a communist way of thinking is completely different than my own. In America, when I think about America, it's more or less of a compressed form of thinking. But it's also open at the same time. The form of thinking is somewhat compressed but open at the same time. There are those who think openly and there are those who think freely. And then there are those who are so compressed that they only think about their own welfare and function. I've had to deal with this before a couple of times in my life with, just generally living in the United States. If you think too freely, or if you think too conservative, people think you're a Republican or some kind of communist. If you think too conservatively, like if you talk about repairing the infrastructure of your own state or something like that, people think poorly of you on quite a large scale. Like if you want to fix your state so that it's not crippled, doesn't have issues, or has, mad crazy corruption going on. Because there is a lot of crazy corruption going on currently in a couple of states involving the medical systems. I guarantee you about maybe 65 out of every maybe 80 patients feel uncomfortable entering hospitals because of the weird things that happen in there. Or the social or civil injustices that occur. I'm not going to say don't trust your local hospitals or the infrastructures, but from my own personal experience, they will rob you. The hospitals in your localized area will likely rob you because I came in before, passed out, and they stole my shoes, my backpack, my cell phone, and my house keys. And then for like 6 weeks, I began noticing that the doctor that was taking care of me at the hospital was hovering around where I was living. I was trying to see where I was living at, and trying to see if people were, coming in and out of the house. Personally, nobody on my household knows this, but I beat the living crap out of a doctor who robbed me at a hospital and had him arrested. I also told him to strip the doctor of his medical practicing license because he stole all that stuff from me and then lied about coming in with nothing. This doctor had intent to rob a home just because they couldn't afford, like generally they couldn't afford to pay for their medical expenses from their college of medical profession. So they thought, oh, I'd steal the keys from this person steal their wallet and their backpack, and then I'll go rob their house while everyone's gone. Well, I just so happened to get off of the car down the hill, climb back in through my room window, and I waited. It took 3.5 minutes for that doctor to get out of his stupid car and to go twisting the keys into the front door while I hid behind the wall closest to the front door and waited for that ass clown to come running around. And the first thing he did was check out the TV, the family bedroom, looked for jewelry, proceeded, and then I proceeded to pummel the medical professional repeatedly with an aluminum bat. It appears this medical professional came to kill somebody too because he had a scalpel with him. And not a disposable scalpel, because those also exist in hospitals, disposable scalpels. Nope, this guy had an old school medical grade steel scalpel. And he brought it with him to make quick and easy incisions on people when they try to stop him from robbing the home. The ass clown even had the audacity to try to put on a mask after I had seen his face. Nobody in my household knew any of this stuff actually went down and proceeded, but I had to beat him up, and they asked him what he was doing with a pair of house keys when the law enforcement had arrived. They asked me how to get a pair of house keys. When I came into the hospital, I remember waking up for a split moment and seeing that I had my house keys still on me. Cell phone and backpack, shoes and everything. I didn't get the iPad back because the asshole stole it, so with my computer at home I decided to go ahead and log into my Apple account and lock down the iPad he was trying to hack into. I later got a report from Apple that he came in trying to sell my iPad to the store to trade it in with his iDevice. They confiscated the iPad and I had to walk all the way to the mall to the Apple store where he was trying to sell my iPad at and trade it in so that he can get another iPhone out. By the time I got there, they said, yeah, everything was all good. But they said when they told him that the iPad didn't belong to him, he proceeded to shatter the iPad and break it in 2 pieces because I had locked it. So he broke my iPad and then walked out of the store. Today, that person is sitting without a medical practicing license and is still sitting in jail because they gave him 30 years in prison. One, not for just robbing me, but just in general for just robbing a patient in general. They just gave him 30 years and that was it. 30 years in prison, no chance of parole. They stripped him of his medical license. He could never approach another medical industry in his life, ever again. Which in this case is a good thing, because nobody else has to go through what I had to. In fact, these case of events I never told anyone in my household about had occurred. Because it was just better that I just swept it under the rug and nobody ever knew about it. Because it would mean less stress, less questioning. You know, a lot less what would drive somebody to do that. Was there a police report? Sure, there is a police report. Try to give me those reference numbers to my family members. I'd be an idiot if I gave it to them. Because then they'd ask, oh, what'd he steal? Oh, what did he this and what did he that? Well, he was trying to rob the entire house. He was trying to take everything. TV, jewelry. The jewelry was given back after, what was it, like a week and a half? The police had given the jewelry back and they handed it to me after I had to appear in court and nobody else appeared because I was the only one that was home. So I was the only one that appeared. And I had him prosecuted. They gave him 30 years, stripped him of a medical practice license. I was satisfied. That was a victory for me. Personal victory. I also had him charged with destruction of an iPad and private property for robbing me at the hospital. But I mostly assume what got him life in, like nearly close to life in prison, which is like 30 years. The guy was like pretty close to his 30s already. He'll probably be getting out by the time he's 62. There's no parole on the guy, so there's no way he's getting out for good behavior in his lifetime. I keep up with his sentence to make sure that he's still in jail today. To make sure that he's still registered in the system. And I always make sure that that person's locked away. Because if they came in with the intent to like straight up kill you if you found them or caught them in the act of robbing your home, they had no intent to be friendly at all. So what I learned from these terms of events and, you know, turn of events that happened in my life was that I would never trust another hospital in my lifetime. And that's kind of what I learned. I would never trust another hospital in my lifetime. And if I'm going to stay there overnight, I expect for somebody to leave me a machete. Because I would never want to be without a large-scale weapon to protect myself. One of the main reasons why is because I'm not trying to be robbed again, or trying to be assaulted by a local police officer who's working in a corrupt, crooked hospital. Which reminds me, the police officer that helped him rob me, I beat him up because he was a UT officer who helped a doctor commit an illegal action. You are not allowed to sedate somebody who is in an unconscious state that just woke up. You are also not allowed to sedate anyone or give them mysterious medical shots. I began feeling extraordinarily ill shortly after being given a shot that I wasn't even supposed to be given. I began feeling extraordinarily ill and loss of strength, high fevers, sweating, and problems breathing. If you want to know, you can check with the University of Texas' very own personal hospital that they built where that disgusting doctor was working at. That pervert was also some kind of former pedophile or some kind of person who likes to touch people in their sleep. Because certain parts of my body felt wet when they weren't supposed to be.
This world's gone to crap.
So in context, the University of Texas and people that are working there are disgusting. Do not trust a single bit of them. Not even one. I wouldn't trust them with my life. So you're better off not doing the same thing either. Do not trust them. Do not let them be in the same room with you alone. From my own personal experience with that disgusting doctor who no longer works there, I would never trust anything ever again. Like I said once before, do not trust people like that. Do not have them around you. Just don't even do it. Because that was just nasty. And it was unpleasant. It was extraordinarily unpleasant for me. I wouldn't even trust my own kids to go to that hospital without 4 people there with me or them. Which is why I always tell the young lady who I'm friends with, whenever it comes to your kids, you do not leave them inside of that medical room with that doctor by themselves. It does not matter if they say they're doing their job. I wouldn't trust them for crap. Do not leave them alone inside of that room with them. You don't know if that bastard could be some kind of a weirdo. Or some kind of child pedophile. Whatever the case be, you're better off not leaving your kids alone with them. Just don't trust people that are like that. I know I don't. Because I've already told people what happened to me in that place. And what happened to me in that place was completely illegal. trust the safety of your children inside of a medical hospital. Actually, I'm gonna keep that one. I'll put the burns kits in there though. Other than that, do not trust your kids to be alone at local hospitals like that. Do not put them in there. Do not assume they'll be fine. And unless you're going to be inside of the same room as them, I wouldn't leave them alone with those people. Because your kids have the right to be safe. Don't turn them into victims by putting them in a place they don't belong. Believe it or not, your kids might become victims if you leave them in there with that doctor alone. If I was running around with a character like that, I should probably stop running around like that. At that point, it just makes me wonder, why do they even do it? Is it because they can't get no ass? 2,400, and we'll see how much it'll show me on price if I try to sell a full set of 80. Yeah, 2,407. That's just for 12 gauge. That's weird how the police station gave me nothing but 12 gauge ammunition. This one goes for 538. And 20 gauge for a set of 80 goes for 850, but it's trying to get me to sell it for less than that. The 20 gauge shotgun is much more quieter since it's actually a more robust but silent shotgun. But its damage it puts out is rather inefficient. I'm going to sell a set of 7.62 and I'm going to mind my business from that point. The burns kits have sold for a total of 500. A lot of players who want to buy antibiotics or medical substance in this game are just, well, they don't really use them for whatever they're supposed to be used for, like fixing the minor issues, but a lot of players like to just swallow them whole and just use them to boost up their like their just general HP. Does it help them recover health? Yeah, it does in a way. But it also cripples the market whenever you need to have those medications available, but they're not. Let me see if I can find a better Beta 8000 or maybe some other 357.
How long can this go on?
And here are the list of Beta 8000s. Any grade, any stat, body damage, stun, maximum accuracy, reload speed, ammo capacity. Ammo capacity. Headshot damage. Attack speed, weapon minimum accuracy, maximum. And noise radius. There isn't a single Beta 8000 on here. With that. Okay, well I'm gonna find one that's like that. What, there's nothing there with that? Alright, you fucking jackwagon. Since you don't wanna give me a decent stat. Any grade? No, we're gonna go down to elite. immediately take a look at the betas. Elite Beta 92. What the hell is that? This isn't even 357. Reload time. Attacks per second. It's rather fast but useless. 16 XP gain. You see that? That's a decent XP gain. Plus 16. But I already have 100% until further notice. Walk and find book chains. This one would be good for looting if I need to get things completed. This is a decent stat. If I wanted to get better sprint duration, better walking speed, and find a book chains for extra XP, this would be worth it. Clip size 14, level 33. Nope. Jog. Find ammo. Weapon reloading. Weapon noise radius is reduced a bit. Nope. Stun threshold. Ammo capacity. Burns. Kick. Energy needs. Walk, find upgrade. Weapon range. Find rare item. Sprint. Incoming. Fuel chance. Nope. Sprint. Walk speed. Stun. Find weapon chance. That's a good one. Always gotta find weapons to make the stuff, but that's like 5,000. Okay, wow. I'll go ahead and kill that weapon search because I don't need to find something if it's broken by technicality. 58,000 for a suppressor. 50% weapon noise radius. Just in general. Let's go ahead and go back into standardized weapons. Pistols, any grade, any stat. How about noise radius? Oh really, a pistol with a noise radius. How about a rifle? How about a shotgun, since you keep doing that? Alright, how about a fuck you game? Does that help you? A nice big fat fuck you? I hope it does. Python. Glock 25, Sad Webster. Chocodile 42. 357 Magnum with a 15 round clip. This would probably be a lot better since this is 357. So go. Glock 31. And we're gonna go like that. And we gotta put the retarded dash because if I don't, it's not gonna freaking figure it out. Find backpack, lockpick, kickback, weapon knockback distance, that's good. Weapon minimum accuracy, weapon reloading, dodge cooldown, find book chains, that's also good. 24 health, find crafting, don't need it. Find crafting, don't need it. Anything's gotta do with crafting, I don't want. Bleeding chance, footsteps. Damage versus infected, 23, crafting, sprint. Body damage per hit, 472. Noise, health restoration, weapon body damage, footstep radius. Walk speed. Weapon stun, damage versus infected. Burns chance. No. Incoming, find book chains, damage versus humans, doesn't do me no good. Find crafting, find drink, footsteps, find fuel. Damage versus infected, crafting chance, sprint, incoming damaged. 24 health, find crafting, kick knockback. Minimum accuracy, weapon reloading, dodge, find book. knockback, find book, lockpick, knockback. Might take the 19 damage versus infected versus anything else, because there's not a lot of stats on a lot of these weapons. Okay. Let's go into the selling, take a look at the Elite Beta 8000, which gets plus 14 range, 4.6 body damage, 17 hydration, weapon attack speed, 14 energy, weapon minimum accuracy, weapon body damage plus 15. 4.6 versus 4 incoming, damage infected, crafting, sprint. It's not a lot of stats for this thing. Wait, did I buy the wrong one? One of these sucks and one of these is better ammo capacity wise. Let's go back down to guns. Doing pistols. 31, any grade stat, and I'm gonna look for an elite. Like that one. That one's pretty decent. It's an elite, but it costs 1,400. Reload time, aim speed 0.6 seconds. Reloading speed, 12 XP gain. Weapon aim speed. This is decent. Versus what I picked up earlier. Sprint duration, weapon attack speed, noise radius reduced. Footstep noise radius reduced. That's also good for looting. Energy, weapon noise radius, weapon reloading, find backpack, search speed, weapon attack speed. Not really any good. 4.8, damage versus humans, weapon attack speed, weapon body damage, weapon noise radius. 1% negative. Reloading, damage versus mutated, incoming damage, weapon minimum accuracy, burns chance, weapon aim speed, and it says plus 25 weapon noise. That is bad. Let's see, I'm level 32, so I should be able to find it if I narrow down my search results. Someone wants 2 million for that. The XP gaining ones really aren't really helping out with this department. So anything under $3,000 would be acceptable. Stun recovery, knockback, damage versus humans, attack speed, radiation chains, weapon body damage 21%. 4.8, stun, energy needs, weapon aim speed, nope. Attacks, reload, nope. This one gives me an XP boost, where this one gives me damage boost, and body damage, noise radius reduction, radiation chance, weapon attack speed, kick knockback, 29%, damage versus humans. That's a stat I kinda don't want. This one gives me attacks per second, knockback distance, aim time, reload. Gives me a faster attack speed with a 12% XP boost. So I can choose XP or damage. XP or damage. Headshot damage is 8. Or I think the Beta 8000 has 11? I don't know. Let me see. No, if you say that again, I'm going to bash your brains out. No, they both do the same, it's just one holds less than the other. Apparently one's more expensive. I'll be running around with that, I might as well just grab a higher capacity magazine version of it. Weapon attack speed, noise radius. Footstep noise radius. Drink and sprint, weapon attack speed. This one would be my winner for attack damage, but other than that, I kinda don't want that in general. However, if I wanted it to be quiet, I would need this one right here. It's got a noise radius reduction, 35.6, and if I apply a $3,000 suppressor onto it, it'll be even less so. Either way, I'm gonna buy this one and probably trash the one I currently have in the inventory, which is probably a waste of money either way I look at it, but I need to make some kind of profit. It's got an incoming damage threshold. Damage versus infected, fine crafting, and sprint cooldown. Gonna have to scrap that one for 480. Field chance, I can throw that away. And throw that into the sale market. The market can have it. Seem to have a lot of 7.62, so the market can keep 2 blobs of it. Seem to have an abundance of 12 gauge ammunition, so the market can keep 2 blobs of it. The market can keep the 2 blobs of 12 gauge, the 32 ACP, all the fuel I have on hand, and some 7.62 ammunition. This Elite Beard 8000 has a bit of a more sufficient thing, but its noise radius is loud as hell. Its ammunition capacity is inefficient. And I'm going to put the Beta 8000 for sale as well. Radiation, 19% inventory, weapon find chance, sprint duration, body damage, find ammo chance. This one right here can go back onto the market for 540. I'm sure somebody's gonna love the inventory boost. This Mach 11 I'm probably going to trash because I'm not finding any ammunition for it. The Elite Manberg 500 I will keep. 590 holds 30 rounds total with my current stats for it. Sledgehammer does decent damage, 7.8. But it goes for 377 when I can scrap it for 400, so I'm going to scrap the Sledgehammer. Rare leather jacket. It's got 30% inventory capacity. I'm going to sell that just for a straight flat 1,000. I don't want nothing else from it because it'll take 250 out, making it 750 just for that little piece of outfit. Anything else I need to sell would go in there. Paramedics bag I'm going to keep. The bandages I'm going to keep. Antibiotics. I don't think they're selling too good right now at the moment. And the painkillers, well, let's throw it in there. I'll end up finding more anyways. If anybody's interested in any of that crap, you can have it all. I need to take a look at the outside and see what missions I have available. Shinewell Heights. Okay, I'm currently in. I'm going to travel the Ridgebow Hunt, it's a level 30 zone. I'm going to try to complete the Shinewell Heights mission. I got 2 out of 5 samples from Shinewell Heights, and I have some unclaimed XP from the crap I recently looted. Surgeon's notes. virus is here. Test subjects wanted $1,000 of a day effortlessly. Mechanic's diary, already read. I'm gonna scrap all this stuff. Madman's diary, Nightmare 1. Nightmare 2 actually is the same for some reason. Flight transcript, autopsy recording, archived voicemail. Okay. Well, either way.
What are you after?
Let's go ahead and sell all the extra BS that I have in here. And by sell, I mean literally scrap the tattered pages. Survivor's Handbook can stay there. Surgeon's Notes can stay there. Newspaper ad clipping. $35 for recording. Flight transcript. Autopsy report. Oh, nope. I gotta keep those blood samples, man. $12 gauge sold, 12 gauge sold, 762, 762 sold. They already took out the taxes. That puts me back at like 33,921. So it's not bad. I have no idea what this person is doing at the moment. Okay, so now I no longer want to ever own Pokemon Unite, now that I see what kind of a game it is. What the actual fuck is this? Why that dude ran into that corner made no sense, dog. Oh, fuck off, you fucking skank. Oh, fuck you. I entered the damn building, you piece of fucking shit. Fuck off. Now, how are you gonna murder me after I do all that? Man, what a complete fucking piece of trash. Fuck you. Fuck you, game. Fucking wasting my shit. Fucking ass clown of an excuse of a game, dog. Fucking fuck you. And this armor repair is gonna put me out $1,000. Piece of fucking garbled shite. Fucking gobshite. Goddamn fucking gobshite. talk about bleeding off the XP I had just recently made. I was just at fucking 54k and it took half my XP, which was already solidified once I entered headquarters. Goddamn gobshite. This is why I hate some bosses and some enemy figures in this game. They're annoying. Get the fuck out of here, you motherfucking gobshite. What, you can't read? Man, fuck these enemies. No, I don't take gobshites on for a ride. How do they know which direction I'm walking? There's no way I'm gonna fucking be able to be appearing on their radar. They just go wherever they hear the bullet. Oh look, I finally made it to Gobshite Hotel. Gobshite, California. Yeah, Hotel Gobshite. Fucking goddamn Gobshite. No, can't have my potatoes. Yeah man, back off me potatoes. Cause the enemy is a gobshite. Question is, why is there this much dust in a building? What, you can't afford damn fucking pay for proper ventilation, you gobshite, or what? You can stay over there, you little gobshite. Cause you're a fucking gobshite. Cause you're in Hotel California, where other gobshites are in the fight. Gobshite, gobshite, gobshite. Oh, look. By the way, for anyone who likes Afro Samurai, I thought it was okay, but the manga really didn't play it out too well either. It was good, but it just wasn't... I guess it wasn't in my kind of taste. The anime was alright. So, yeah. And people said, for anyone who doesn't like the anime, hasn't read the manga. Well, I read the manga too. It wasn't all that. Get out of my motherfucking face, you little fucking dog shite with your goddamn hat. That fucking dog shit it tried to pull off again. I am not into that bullshit. Unless your useless ass is gonna produce me a fucking goddamn sample. I don't want nothing to do with it because you're over there gargling balls like Gargle Smurf. That reminds me, I called somebody Gargle Smurf on a live stream. They're over there telling me I got disrespect. Who's disrespecting who? I didn't say a damn thing and I'm over there getting dissed. Like, how are you gonna be a top tier YouTuber and disrespect somebody else and say that they started it first? For those of you who are wondering, yeah, I do think some YouTubers are great in quality, but they're not much of people person. Personally, I learned that firsthand. That is a fan of Pokemans, if you actually met that person in real life, you probably wouldn't like what you find. Not worth it. Never meet idols, never meet people who are successful in the YouTubing community, VTubers. Never meet these people in real life because they're just not good people to be around. Man, get the fuck out of here, you fucking little gobshite child. But yeah, just never meet VTubers, never meet your idols, never meet your heroes. When people tell you these things, you never want to meet your hero in real life, because your hero could be the biggest ass of all time. For just one moment they look good to the public, and then behind the scenes, they're a complete ass. So if someone tells you never meet your heroes, take their advice. Because if you meet your heroes or your favorite writer or whatever, you're going to be very disappointed at the end of the day. Just like the guy who was a fan of Steven Spielberg. Well, he met his idol, but when he found out how weird his idol really was, not to mention the idol turned out to be extremely lonely, it's just really weird. Sure, they're cool and stuff, and the way they were thinking in the creation of their books, their movies, whatever they want to do, it was intricately woven to interact with the user in general. But to have that real mental connection of the human mind, that's just entirely pure science fiction. A person may only be agreeable once in their life to a mass majority of a population, and then for the rest of their life be completely ignored. That is a real fact. For those of you who do not know, I figured I'd let you know that. If you have idols, or you idolize a movie creator, or you idolize DreamWorks, I'm going to tell you this. Every company has that side of the company that looks like rainbows and cupcakes, and then they have the real behind the scenes of the company that most people refuse to look at. And a lot of people don't look at the real side of the companies. They would rather have the rose-covered glasses than to have their childhood destroyed or their fantasies ruined. That's not a bad thing per se to have in life. However, in the long run, you want to take those glasses off at some point. I even tell people that you want to take the rose-covered glasses off at some point in life. Because if you just leave them on, you're only hurting yourself. I do have relatives who want to keep the rose-covered glasses on because, you know, they want people to always be there, so to speak. The word be there, but reality is they always want to still have their child, so to speak. Physically or mentally, like physically, I'm not stunted, but mentally I am stunted because I wasn't allowed to fly the nest when I tried at the age of 16. All my opportunities were destroyed by my family. And because of that simple factor, I ended up kind of crippled mentally. And it ended up really impacting my life. So I am mentally crippled and I have the brain of a child instead of an adult. Sure, I like money, but I also don't like it more. Money's nice enough, it ain't gonna buy me a marriage. Most certainly ain't gonna buy me my wife. I'm not some repo in the dark net trying to buy a wife. And I don't have like $40,000 to keep them fed while they're inside of a crate being shipped overseas. And yes, those are called mail order brides. A lot of times, some of these mail order brides that do exist in the real world, yeah, the money you pour into there's like money to purchase the human being, as they call it, and they call them mail order brides. And believe me, I've actually looked into this ugly side of the internet that still exists, and for some reason it's completely legal. Even though the world says it isn't, the local governments of that state or county or city still makes a profit off of these orders. This takes a lot of incredible research. But yeah, if you ever try to buy a girlfriend or buy a wife off of the internet, you should probably pay the extra money so that you can pay for the food they're going to be eating on the way here. So if you're going to buy a person for $25,000, you better dump an extra $25,000 to pay for their accommodations of travel. Because they'll likely be shipped off or shipped in, likely with other people who have been purchased that are heading towards the same county or city. And the sad part is, $25,000 is going to go into their food and water, toilet paper, stuff like that. It's like paying a coyote. You know, there's like some drawbacks. And that's kind of what it is. Basically, you're paying a coyote to bring someone overseas to you that you legally have purchased in some way or another, in which it doesn't violate some kind of perpetual human trafficking thing. In a way or so, these weird things on the internet do exist, and a lot of states in the United States, and pretty much almost everywhere else in the world, do get away with it. If you see weird things happening, or you see a semi-truck rolling up on a farm, or what they say is a farm, it's a house farm, but you don't ever see any grains or produce coming out of it, likely under that establishment is probably hundreds of thousands of women who have been trapped underground for I don't know how long, and probably handcuffed to poles and pipes or wooden beams. Whichever the status be. I'm not gonna tell you that the world's filled with cupcakes, but the one time I seen something weird like that, and I remember some chick jumping out of the back of a semi-truck trailer. The guy thought he could freak me out and scare me by grabbing me by the shirt and putting a gun to my face and saying I didn't see nothing. No, I proceeded to put the gun barrel in my mouth. And then he let me go and said, "What's wrong with you? Don't I know this is a loaded gun?" And I said, "Yes, I do. And if you're putting a loaded gun to somebody's head, or you're putting it towards their head or in their face, it's because you're going to kill them. You don't put it in someone's face if you're trying to scare them. Because more or less likely, you're going to probably get more than what you bargained for. I don't know if you just call it plain stupidity or balls of steel to put a loaded gun in your mouth, but, I recommend nobody do that, because most of the times, 8 out of 10 times, that person's likely going to pull the trigger. So, don't do it. Because those are really an actual odds number. 8 out of 10 times, you putting the gun barrel in your mouth is going to have the person blow your brains out. Because there is that 1% that you'll just get your brains blown out. But there is that percentage of people who have that part in the back of their head, like the back of their head just won't do it. Because they refuse to shoot somebody without a reason. It's usually those people in life who usually end up dropping out of that business shortly after being in it for a while. You really gotta think about it though, nobody in the right mind would want to be in that kind of business. I know I wouldn't want to be. This is a slippery slope down to hell. Think it off, you little gobshite child. But yeah, human trafficking is not a good thing. If you see anything that looks suspicious or out of the ordinary or looks like human trafficking, it's best to compile your own evidence and perform a bust. But you need to be careful how many of these operations you stop from happening. And if these people are supposedly going to be helped inside of their nation or sent back to the country of origin, you need to make sure that the people that are doing their job supposedly are really doing it. The people who end up in human trafficking schemes, fraudulent plans, or whatever, those people need to be given what they call solidus. I believe it's solidus or something like that. Or some kind of compensation from being dragged out of their nation. And instead of being sent back to their country, where they're probably going to be sent back and captured in their inventory, and then end up right back to the United States, but a different part of the country. Well, I think it would be better that those people just don't return back to their nation, because it would be more or less better in their health if they don't go back to the country that likely sold them. They should at least be given parameter of solidus in the United States instead of, ending up like that. If you were stuck in human trafficking and you were kidnapped from your country or whatever, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you should be given citizenship for the country you're in and allowed to live there. So that way things can be taken care of much easier instead of dumping the load on someone else. Because if the country knew that they sold that person, and then that person comes back, not as a sold product, most of these countries will likely eliminate that person so as to keep it quiet what's going on. seen a lot of countries do that. I'm not going to talk mess about some countries in life because I do have enough evidence to incriminate an entire country. But point being is, it's just not a good scene. Human trafficking is a bad thing to happen to people. It's also a bad scene for anyone who has been a victim of it. Human trafficking can occur at any age. You don't have to be a specific number of age. If someone likes what they see, or they think you have potential to make profits, they'll probably kidnap you. More or less, the substandard is if you're there and no one else is around, and they think they can get away with it, they will try to get away with it. And I found my last one. And the last blood sample. I can finally wipe my cheeks. 4 hours before this craptastic mission gets me executed. I don't see the boss. That's bad. If I can't see the boss, I cannot complete the mission. Oops. Went upstairs instead of downstairs. Yeah. Fuck off, you little gobshits. Alright. The Murray's household. I could travel down that way, or I could travel back down here. But that would be a level 35 zone. This is a 45 zone. That's a 50 zone. That, if I go into the 35 zone, it's not going to be very doable. Chemical spill. Kill irradiated fingerhead. Kill irradiated adult male 50. Kill irradiated adult zombie female 50 times. Kill one finger face. Reward 7,000 and 2161. It's not a lot. Stag hunt or stag night. Kill one choir adult male zombies. Nope. McCulling. Kill 35 adult male zombies at Avondale Park. It's a small amount of XP and cash. Eyes open wide. Kill one optic titan. Kill optic adult male. Kill optic adult female. What are they? Is it some other? Got huge eyeballs or something, or what? Hello, I'm Eyeholes Man, and I love my Eyeholes cereal. Only I can have the Eyeholes, because I'm Eyeholes Man. Hello, you little gobshite. Go die somewhere. Thank you. Is there a fire station? No. Remember, during the zombie apocalypse, having the proper shoes would help you escape and avoid danger. Also, if you see a bunch of people getting eaten alive or something like that, being torn apart in a huge pile in the beginning of the zombie apocalypse, do not run across that pool of blood, because you will likely slip and fall. And you'll probably slip and fall even with slip-resistant shoes. So, you know. through a huge puddle of blood, you probably should rub your shoes on the concrete a couple of times before running any further to prevent slipping at odd intervals. I also need to check my bank account, make sure I have the amount of money I need to pay for this month's bill. Otherwise, the money would have been sent for nothing, and the calculation from that stupid ATM must have been incorrect. I don't even know what I'm looking for at this place that I'm going to, but it's definitely going to be a hell of a lot of issues. I do get sidetracked a lot with whatever it is that goes on in the world, but yeah. Sometimes I get sidetracked with subjects, personal opinions, and stuff like that. And sometimes I end up shooting myself in the foot with my own personal opinions or thoughts, which really interferes with my channel's general discretion or advisements. Either way, somehow it just straight up intervenes with what I'm trying to stand for. And somehow I end up like back and forth. But I mostly think it's because of the weird stuff that's going on inside of this house that, you know, shouldn't be going on. It's nothing illegal, but it's something very freaky and spiritual. You know how Japanese people are all spiritual and stuff? Well, if you're really smart and you don't like having ghosts around you, you might invest in very special chimes or type of bells as departed spirits react to those sounds, and you can lead them out of your home so that they know there's an exit. Leading them out of your home means less encounters with, well, the unwanted. Alright, blow it out your assholes, gobshites are us. I swear to God, this game better not crash on me, because I'm gonna be super pissed. Okay, I'm in the Murray household, and I need to look for Scott Pilgrim. Who isn't even a real person. Well, I guess this was Scott. Oh, look. Oh, wait, that's Florence. That's an entirely different mission. Well, I found another mission in progress. Stay down. And please don't go back up. Your nasty stink zombie breath isn't going to help your case in staying alive any further. Man, that is a tiny craptastic TV. Alright, let's take a look at this. What did it say? An ID card? Property of Scott Park. Florence Powers. This is property of Scott Park, wanted by Florence Powers and Harkbrook. Oh, okay, so I already found his dead body. Well, then now I can just get that, you know, and get out of here. Greywood. Let's go down to Greywood. I mean, Greywood. God damn it. With gobshites are us. You too could be a gobshite, too. I have no idea how long I'll be streaming, but I assume it's been about 2 hours since I started, like, I think, around 10. Again, I assume it's like a couple hours or so. Not entirely sure, don't quote me on that. Oh, the top of this house got blown up. How long has this dump been out here? Good, there's no zombies out here. Or in this case, no bosses. The cringy cottage. She's got that cottage cheese for that face of hers. I'm gonna play out some Fallout 76, or I'm gonna switch over to Wobbly Life. I want a much more happier looking game than this one. However, I have not changed the thumbnail of Wobbly Life in like a hot minute, so yeah, that's another thing. Sometimes people come here looking for Wobbly Life and they end up finding something else instead. So for those of you who are hoping for Wobbly Life, again, I'm very sorry in advance. If you clicked on it and the thumbnail is just a picture of my wobbly character. Man, there's a lot of military stuff out here. Sure there's not a goddamn military base around here somewhere. Oh, you fucking poser. You unbelievable saggy titty poser. I don't know what a carnival is doing out here. But again, still haven't seen any kind of military action, any kind of military vehicles other than the crashed helicopters here and there. I haven't even seen a single Sekrenom bunker in this location. So how does Sekrenom have a headquarters location at this location if there isn't a single bunker? I'm also trying to figure out what the hell are trains doing out here if there isn't a single train track. These are like heavily misplaced props. And you can find a lot of this stuff, some of these assets, you can see a lot of them. And I think the destroyed zone in Dead Frontier 1, if I'm not mistaken, the assets look kind of like this. Well, that's something burning over there. I think that's just a regular thing. I'm going to explore out here for a minute and see what I'm finding. The reason why I want to explore is to see if there even is a single sign of the military. Because so far I've been all over a majority of the map and I haven't seen a single military vehicle. Not a one. Like this lady right here in her warty self. This lady's got warts like she's ready to burst and explode into some kind of septic mess. Look around. Oh, here dealing with Wardy McGee. Hello, Gobshite. I'm gonna hand you in those 2 missions. Over here having to deal with Wardy McGee and his twin brother, Super Warts. I could increase my jogging speed, which would probably increase my survivability. Kinda like that game, Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's go with Warty speed! The gobshite you see here isn't paid for in part by any program or system you see currently today. Please do keep in mind that viewer discretion is advised while watching this stream. I advise you to probably put on some earplugs if you don't like hearing people curse or complain 95% of the time.
Hi.
If you do, and this is what you like, stay tuned. more complaining, and quite possibly even a heart attack will be in your neighborhood soon. But it won't be you having it, it'll be the streamer. We humbly thank you for choosing Heart Attack Industries and providing the streamer with the heart attack of a lifetime, so that they wouldn't have to worry too much about you having to have one, when they can have it all for you. Thank you. I wonder how that sounds as a discretional message. Oh man, I had to literally pop a lot of bones, a lot of things with my body. I had to just pop them. But I can get my 10 gauge shotgun, go blow off my you know what or whatever. Oh, well, I guess this is a 10 gauge. Oh no, it's a 2 gauge, 12 gauge, but with only 2 shots. 20 gauge, antique shotgun. Jackrabbit. 10 gauge is the Hollow Defender, is the 10 gauge shotgun. Rare AA-12, this is a 12 gauge shotgun. Headshot damage, attacks 3 per second. It's a AA-12. Headshot damage is 16.32, but it's a 12 gauge. It's a very fast firing shotgun with 20 rounds. Superior pick hammer 12. Superior. Superior. Saiga 12K, but it's a 20 gauge version of it. The Ithaca 10. Headshot damage is 10 gauge, 2 shots. Manberg 590. The Sawn-Off Freckle gun. It's a 12 gauge but has a higher DPS and headshot damage of 36. The Michelin Tire M4 fires tires instead of shotgun rounds. Let's go into the rifle and see if I can find any more powerful rifle. No, the Cabner 98 and the Mosin Nagant are really out of my freaking inventory. It's 8 millimeters. The M14 is within range. However, I do not think a single M14 is even in good quality at the moment. Clip size is 20. Yeah, look at that. This one's got lockpicking, incoming damage, fine chance, fuel, 1.2 per second. It's not that good. The M14, then you have the Mini 41, which is a smaller version of the M14, but fires 22 long rifle. Not chambered in the same round. VSS Chestnut Dragunov SVD is a level 25. 0.25 for every 3 meters of error. I don't know what to buy right now. I would try to grab a better melee weapon, but there's like nothing I want in melee weapon. There's really nothing I want in the submachine gun category. Take a look at it. Right now, anything that's good is heavily out of my reach. The Balrog. Look at that. The Balrog. Out of my reach. The Lanchester. Highly sought after 9mm. Still out of my reach. 40 out of my reach. The Thompson out of my reach. Uses fortified Colt. The grease gun. Looks like it's a nice weapon. Bowser's Folly. Should be called Bowser. Dr. Hauser, Bowser, Fiery. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and take a look. I have shite armor, and I know how to use it. I mean, I don't know how to use it. High standard systems call 123-789-456. Busy. It's like literally no door there. It just looks like a really thin line. Just like cut into it. Let's see. Let's unequip that for a magical moment and see what happens when I use my rare longsword in this craptastic zone. Well, it works a lot better. Definitely works a lot better in this zone. However, the armor took a huge hit. Did it? Yeah, it did. It took like 6 points. 6 points? No, it took 4 points of damage just for that single blow that I just received. You got a sword, I got a sword. So, you know, on guard. On guard. On guard. Nice try, Tubby. No hit for you, gobshite. Okay, I might be able to do it here in this zone. Don't quote me on that. That might not last too long. Again, when I tell you not to quote me on something, I really do mean it. Don't quote me on something, because usually this doesn't last too long. You know, I start doing good with the melee, and then all of a sudden it turns to garbage. So, you know, we all know how that turned out last time. Holy crap, what the hell am I doing here? And then, 33 seconds later, I'm whipping out the shotty. What's up, Letary? Get off me, you gobshite. Man. Look at that asshole. Hey, get the fuck out of here, man, you little shit. Oh, fuck you. You see that crap? This is why I fucking hate Melee. Well, that little fucking cocksucker can go munch on some huge ass fucking Dragon Balls, dude.
Nothing on the radio again.
Fuck that trainer for sitting down.
Well, yeah. But have you seen all the good news what they do?
Hi.
Man, look at that. I'm already losing profits already. Again. I'm just gonna go ahead and cancel the sale. Cancel the sale of these items, and I'm gonna go trash the shit out of them because there's no point. Ain't nobody gonna buy those items for the shit prices they're going for. So I'll take my $800 and get the fuck on my way. Gonna click my heels 2 times and get the fuck on out of here. This Mac 11 sucks. Twenty-three dodge, 19, 10 cooldown, 11 sprint, incoming damage, 1 movement speed. Let's see what that crap I got in my freaking stuff. 1 movement speed, 12 footstep sneak, sprint speed, sprint cooldown, kick, stun duration. Got the sprint cooldown on that thing, 11 sprint cooldown, and then yeah, I think I'm better off scrapping them. That craptastic exhaust, it's for a vehicle slot. I can go to hell too. That fuel doesn't look like it's going to sell even though it's full. Okay, let's go back outside and see if I can do this. Gonna try to loot this singular cottage next door without experiencing any crap. And by crap, I mean crap problems. Oh crap, this is gonna be a problem regardless of how I look at it. Well, at least I was able to handle my issue. The sad part is it decides to give me 38 special right off the bat when I don't have a 38 special weapon anymore. Not very scary, and Tubby Boy didn't fit in through the door anyways. It's a 9 vanilla meter. Don't trust him. I think in this place it would be only a shotgun location. A zombie that experiences fatigue, that's the first one we've seen. Found a gold key. Hopefully it doesn't lead me to a trap. 357 Magnum. That's real nice. In a zone where 357 is useless. Stay down, old man. It was better you were playing dead than trying to be alive. Well, somebody was eaten alive here. And some poor woman didn't even make it out of her friggin'... Well, she didn't make it too far. I mean, they split her butt in half. And this guy's face looks more like a clam. In fact, it looks like I'm fighting a clam that caught an undersea STD. You might not notice, but clams can look kind of like that whenever they catch a type of disease. It affects the general growth of their shell, and they look kind of spiky, which makes them toxic to eat because of the material that their body is used to. It's no longer an edible substance. And it's because of a parasitic infection, so sometimes clams become very spiky because of parasitic infections. Oh look, I found a Lanchester. That's rare. I would go in that boss room, but I'm afraid if I go in there, I'm not going to like what I find. Back off, bar skank. Couldn't afford to get a drink. Well, you have to bum them off people. Anyway, sorry about that, but overall, in the context, that's kind of how I feel in general about certain types of subjects. Well, back the fuck off me with that cheap ass hit shit. I had enough with that crap. Oh, we're about to cheat off some fucking blows off of this person. Screw off.
This is the Pale Haven Security Council broadcasting to all survivors. Please bring any supplies you find back to the safe houses for distribution to those in need. Stay safe out there.
Superior genes. Not really worth it. You can go to sleep. Nobody loved you enough to save your ass when you were alive. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna love you when you got sights for hands. Starting to mutate like something straight out of Alien, man. Back off, shite armor. Oh, you piece of fucking shite. Oh, that piece of shit literally damaged me all the way. Back away. Your sad excuse for diarrhea. Freaking glitch out into that wall. I'm gonna have to use these antibiotics because that's all I have left. God damn it, that one explosion took out an incredible amount of armor. Back off, you disgusting vile creature. I should say like an old-timey person. Back off, you disgusting vile creature, while I cleanse thee from the earth. Yeah, I'm not fighting another guy. Okay, this is the last room. Boy, did they eat this person dry. This person didn't even get a chance to turn. However, they probably were turning before somebody splattered their brains all over the place and introduced them to the new mop. Back off, you shiesty fucks. Yeah, this person was definitely in quarantine. Or I guess in this case, this guy was about to transform and they just blew his goddamn brains out too, like the other poor bastards. Well, either way, they did them a favor. I think it'd be better to have your brains blown out than to transform into a scythe-wielding weirdo. Still, I'm a little alarmed that they ate all the skin off this person. They went all the way to the bone. They went to town on that one person. In a way, it's morally disturbing. Okay, I'm running out of here. I think that's a building I can enter. It cost me a bit of money to get all this crap done with. Yeah, you can have this orange juice. I'm sure somebody would love it. Still at 6:05 and keep my antibiotics to myself. I'm going to sell that off so that way it can basically be in there instead of out here. I'm not sure I'm even going to use the Dragunov anymore. Lanchester's got a decent stuff, but the weapon stun duration is rather low. Clip size is 50. Price is 480, 474. Scrap price will get me what I'm looking for right away anyways. And a Lock 31 Elite Rare Longsword. Manberg, it's got a suppressor. Some jeans. Really wasn't worth it. Don't know what the Halcom Lodge in Greywood is. I don't think I've ever been inside there either. Don't quote me on that because I don't know half the things I'm saying right now. Unequip the shotgun for perpetual reasons and lack of ammunition, more specifically. Oh, look at that! Oh, the gobshite gun. Oh look, it's sold real quick. The rifle ammunition. Of all things, the rifle ammo sells super quick, but my 357 won't go down the drain. It just keeps piling up. Whatever.
Hey.
Okay, I don't have anything to hand in. That's good. Well, this was absolutely a crippling nightmare of which I didn't fully comprehend. I greatly appreciate anyone who has been, well, I guess here up to now. I'm not gonna play War Thunder. Probably gonna tune in to some. I guess in this case, I'm probably gonna tune into playing Wobbly Life to end off with a different note. And we'll start a new stream, but it'll definitely be Wobbly Life. I'm going to have some creamy chicken dumplings from, you know, Campbell's, the company that makes the, you know, canned food. And since it's Campbell's chunky, I really don't care. I'm going to eat it. Okay, I appreciate anyone who's been floating around in my chat for what apparently nearly is 2.5 hours. Thanks for enjoying it. I didn't think I'd be... Well, I didn't think it'd be this melodramatic. Or just... It wasn't aggravating. It was more or less, this run was more or less to me personally. I was disappointed, generally, in my loot. Near the end, the loot was more or less very acceptable. So... it kind of made up for it right around the end with the loot quality. I guess leave a like, subscribe, it's entirely up to you. I just know that it's going to be a bumpy road to get to level 35. If I don't start another stream, I'm probably going to do a little bit of grinding for XP off camera, so that way I can have a new slot for XP or whatever. This is, I guess, the basic outro. I don't know. I might be back with more. I gotta eat something because, yeah, I guess my brain is running a little low. So it's like having flat tires, but on your brain. The brain is the bus or car, whatever you want to call it. And right now, it's out of gas and has flat tires. So, again, thanks for tuning in. I greatly appreciate it. Hope to see you next time, or probably within like an hour or two or less. I mean, it's like Sunday going into Monday. I have no reason to catch any Z's anyways. But yeah. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back.